Welcome to the Army Empire Podcast, your go-to podcast for insightful tips on investment strategies, entrepreneurship, and all things money matters. Join Bernard Alerte, your guide on this journey to financial freedom. Each episode will dive into expert advice, practical strategies, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your financial future. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or a seasoned investor, we've got something for everyone. So get ready to unlock your financial potential and make your money work for you. And now, let's welcome your host, Bernard Alerte.
Hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Army Empire Podcast. Hey, Bernard.
Hi, how you doing, Liz? Excited to be here.
Yes, we are excited to be here. Listen, I'm somewhere in Virginia at a hotel room, and we did not want to miss the podcast. So here we are, and we're excited about today's topic. Bernard, what episode are we on?
Oh my gosh, 75, 3/4 of a century here. There you go.
Listen, we have to celebrate big for episode 100. This is going to be fantastic.
Yes.
And this is such a beautiful accomplishment for us and for our audience, for those that watch every week, whether they're watching live or they watch the replay, whether they're watching on Instagram. Listen, we are live on Instagram right now. We're live on YouTube right now and on Facebook. And I love seeing all of the comments. I love seeing, we just went over some analytics backstage before we went on live to see what we're looking, how the numbers are on Instagram, on YouTube. And it's really good to see new followers, new subscribers, and the momentum that's being created here. So I will say that the reason why the momentum is high is because, Bernard, you are killing it with these topics. Today, we are talking...
Where's the money? Where's the money? Yes, absolutely. We're going to talk a lot about that. But I just want to give a big shout out to my wife, Eileen. Last week did an incredible job with the episode. I was getting on, but I was traveling. I was actually in New York. I'll spend some time in New York. As a matter of fact, I don't know, a couple episodes back, we talked about a client that has a husband passed away. So we had to sit down with her, help her figure some things out, and also make sure that make sure the proceeds help her grow so she can never have to worry about money again. So that's one of the goals that we had. And we actually set that up for her. So we're excited about doing that. And it was a sad situation because I remember the client. I remember he's a great person. And it just, we kind of got a chance to reminisce. We prayed and we're, at least it's about to turn the page, going the right direction. But it could have gone. I've seen situations like that, Liz, where it went a whole different direction where there was nothing. And the conversation is totally different, when there's nothing there, So it was a couple of things. It was actually eye-opening last week also because we were traveling. And as you guys know, the TSA, everything that June, I guess it was ending during that time, the government shut down, right? But it just dawned about the reality that happens. And what we talk about, that we always said average person is one paycheck away from a disaster. If you didn't get your paycheck, and we say it, and sometimes when we say it, people are not like, is that really that? It is relevant. It's relevant out there. If you think about what's happening with a lot of TSA, even you work for the government, a lot of people think, just because you work for the government thinks everything's okay. No, you work for the government. It doesn't really matter. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of those families, unfortunately, agents work hard. A lot of them can go to work, and now some airports was like 50% of them didn't show up for work because they couldn't show up. They couldn't afford to eat. They couldn't afford to
gas
to get to the office. And that was not like a couple of months. That was like maybe one or two pay cycles.
Yeah.
It's a reality, and it's exactly a segue to what we talk about, because the general question we can ask everyone is, where's the money? I think we did a couple episodes back. Where's the money? Where that's the question. People ask, well, what money? Whenever I ask that question, there's a couple of answers I get. What money? What do you mean? Explain. I mean, what? So the people are not sure what we're talking about. So this is where we're gonna segue on different areas and a lot of areas that we talked about before that people can find monies that you don't realize you can find little monies here and there to be able to get in the right direction, right? Which is so important, right? So let's dive into it. Sometimes a little bit extra cash can be hiding in plain sight. For example, this is tax season. Do you expect a tax refund this year? Some people, like we talked a couple episodes back with the bills that came out this past year. Some people are gonna get like a bigger tax return. That's a way to do it, and that's one way. Another way is, are you overpaying for life insurance cover? A lot of people don't realize that they might be paying too much money for life insurance. We're gonna talk about that, right? Has it been a while since, for example, you compare your auto and homeowners insurance rates? In some states, Florida is one of them, where auto and home goes through the roof, and this is a good time for people to kind of check out to find different ways to going to get a better coverage or something like that, or lower coverage. Or the other way is, are you being charged for subscription that you're no longer using? You'd be surprised. Dollars, yes. I mean, I try to cut off a lot of them, and every couple of months I go back. Do I really need this? When's the last time I used this app? Do I really need? And I kind of cut it off. I don't need that, because I mean, I find ways, because even a little bit makes a difference. Even a little bit makes a huge difference. But for a lot of people, a couple hundred apps. The worst part is people that have cable and subscriptions on top of that. And to me, that's like a double whammy. It's like you have the channels already, you can view, but on top of that, you have subscriptions on top of that, which makes it even worse. So average person probably pays a couple $100 extra a month. And that could be a big challenge, in other words, right?
Yeah, it's rare that you see a family with just one subscription. It's usually like 5 or 10 subscriptions.
Yes, they do. And a lot of them, and they're going up every couple of months. You get like emails going up from 12 to 15 or something like that. And if you add them all up, $3, $4, $5 extra a month, it doesn't seem like a lot. But if you add the 5, 6, 7, 8 subscriptions, you're paying extra $30, $40 extra a month.
Correct.
Extra that's so subscription. So that is so true. Think about it. And some people don't even have life insurance. That's an extra $30, $40 for a person that can give them an extra $100,000 of coverage. So there's a lot of things that people can do to find the money to hit their goals, right? So if you look at the next, are you finding more money in the household? You budget, you factors like this, like lower tax, talk about lower taxes, lower inflation. Inflation was high a couple of years ago, and it went down a little bit, right? Wage growth and some lower, and that's not happening because the past, as you guys know, because we're in the middle of a conflict, right? An Iran conflict. So because of that, gas has gone up. Gas has gone up dramatically, right? It's not funny, but the craziest thing happened. I saw like a picture of meme, right? It's like in 2020, people had their face on their mask, right? At the gas station. Now people have like something on their eyes, right? Because they don't want to
see it.
They don't want to see the gas prices when they're pumping gas, right? So it's crazy. It's not funny, but if you think it's ironic, at the same time, what happens, right? Lower interest rates. For people on homeowners, or some loans, low interest rates have gone down a bit, and they expect to go down a little bit, and also increasing government and retirement for benefits for people. So there's different things that are happening out there where people can find money, but it doesn't relate. Not everyone can take advantage of that. Makes sense? So it's not like across the board. Some people may not be able to see it. So we're going to go over some things where you can find money actually, right? Another aspect, let's look at the next slide. Are you overpaying for life insurance? Okay, life insurance protects a crucial foundation for families' health, but a lot of people overpaying for life insurance, right? Could you be overpaying for coverage? Do you have the right kind of life insurance for your needs, right? Do you have enough coverage to protect your family's biggest financial goals? So this is where we teach people how to find money. The biggest concept we teach families is to get pure term insurance. The best, because when you get life insurance, here's what you're getting. You're actually buying a check for your family. Very simple. You're telling the company ABC, this is who I am. I want this amount of coverage. I'm in good health. Everything I'm sharing with you is true. I don't have any health conditions, or if I do, I disclose them up front, right? And I'm going to pay a premium every single month, right? And when I pay a premium every single month, if something happens to me, you're going to give my family a check. So you have an agreement with the insurance company that you're going to give premium every single month. And their agreement with you is, listen, when you pass away, we're going to give your family a check. So while you're actually buying a check for your family. That's what you're buying, right? So the key is what kind of policy out there allows you and I to get get the biggest check for the lowest amount of money,
Yes.
right? And term insurance is the best way out
So
there.
good.
Is way basically to get more protection. Why? The reason you want to get term insurance is to get more protection, number one, and also to be able to save and invest more money. See, it's not just to get it's not just to get protection, but just to be able to save and invest more money. Where what's happening out there in the industry, 70-80% of the policies being sold out there in the industry are cash value policies. Whereas it's whole life, cash value, IULs, that's what's happening out there. And so people are actually spending more money than they should. Okay, the key is to get pure term insurance. Allows you, why? Because allows you for you to get the most protection so you can save and invest. Save to what? For if you have any emergencies, that's part of it. Save and invest for you to be able to retire. Or if you will save and invest to be able to buy a home or something if you want to, right? So there's ways out there.
I have a question here. So how do we save with term life insurance compared to like whole life or something else?
Great question. Well, the good thing about term insurance, you don't save money. You just pay for the protection. It's very simple. It's pure protection. You're paying a premium every single month for just protection itself. But the goal is to set up a separate savings and investment account on the side. Right? Which I'm going to show you the example. If you look at the next slide, it's going to show you exactly big difference that can make happen. If you look at most people, right? Most people, here's what they have. Which program would you want? We asked. Like, if you look at the on the left side, right? See, like index, universal life, whole life, variable life, they all have the same name. As a matter of fact, the longer the name, the worse it is. Right? The longer the name, the worse it is, right? Here's an average family. Yes. If it's a long name, if it's index, universal, special, whatever, modular one, modular two for doctors and attorneys and wealth building, all these things, the longer the name is, the worse it is, as a matter of fact, right? So if you think about that price, you're paying for two things. You're paying for a death benefit, which if something happens, you got to pay. You pay for a living benefit, which is a little bit of cash value that builds up inside the policy. So if you look at that family right now, paying $251 a month, right? For $250,000 of protection for husband and wife. And part of the money goes to build some cash value. So by the time they're 65, that family would have about $127,000 accumulated, which if you look at any house, it doesn't seem that bad. But here's the challenge. If something happened with John and Mary at that point in time, their family would get to $250,000 of protection, but the $127,000 cash value would go back to the company. The company would keep that money. Make sense? And if they were to take all that money, $127,000 out, then what? The company will cancel the coverage, cancel the face amount. So you're paying for two things, but you only get one at a time.
That's
awesome. Sense?
Yeah,
which is very challenging. And also, if you want to use any part of cash value, you would have to borrow that money and pay the money back. So whenever you borrow something, it's never really your money. Make sense?
Absolutely. When you borrow something, it's not your money.
Whenever I borrowed something, because it wasn't mine to begin with, right? In other words, so that's the challenge. So the concept we teach is a buy to invest is different. Looking for the same $251 that family might be spending. We can give them the same $250,000 coverage for husband and wife, but they're only going to pay $88 for the term insurance policy. So they're going to save a lot less. Now we're able to save them $163 a month. The $163 a month we saved them, we're going to show them how to save and invest in a Roth IRA. And by the time they're 65, we have over $300,000 accumulated in the Roth IRA.
So that was where he has a question. My husband has a question. I see Jonathan's on Instagram. Hey, Jonathan, our buddy's on. So does a life insurance policy make sense along with the Roth IRA?
100% of the time. 100% of the time. For 98%, 95 to 98% of consumers out there, having term life insurance and investing in Roth IRA is the best solution. Dollar for dollar. Dollar for dollar. So that family would have $300,000 accumulated in the Roth IRA. And that's money they can take out anytime. They don't have to pay taxes on it. They don't have to borrow it because it's their money. And if something were to happen to John and Mary, they will get the $250,000, which is the face amount of the policy, plus the $300,000 the investing at the same time. Make sense?
Excellent. Excellent. Listen, share your questions. We're going to ask Coach right here live as we are on the episode. Moving on. Next
100%.
slide.
That's the next slide. So let's look at the next slide, right? Now, is your money working for you? That's one way is you can find money. Are you leaving money on the table with your savings, right? Bank savings account earn average 0.61% interest, right? Annual percent, right? In other words, if you think about, we talk about the rule 72, how money doubles every six. If, for example, if you take the interest rate you're saving or invest your money, if you divide that into 72, your money, it tells you how many years it takes your money to double. So at less than 0.61%, your money doubles. 0.61 to 72 is not a good number. That means your number will double every 72 plus years. Okay. So it doesn't wait. So is money sitting in a 401k from a previous employer? A lot of people, sometimes they have money sitting in a previous employer that they're not paying attention. They left the job. Check this out. Average person switches 5-6 jobs in their lifetime. Right, average person.
That's right.
A lot of times they have a plan and they leave it there. They leave it there. Right, and they never take with them. So listen, it's like, here's the way I see it. If you left a job, right, you took all your stuff with you. You took your little box with you with all your stuff, all your belongings, right, all your pictures, right, that was on your desk. You put them right, all your things, right. You took them with you. Why are you gonna leave your money there? You took your pictures with you, but you're gonna leave your money at the job. That makes. I mean, but people don't. That makes no sense, right? It's take it with you. If you're gonna take your pictures, take your money with you also. And one of the biggest mistake people make, they have money sitting there. And their old 401k, sometimes they don't even know for years, and they can't even find the money because they moved. They don't remember. Some jobs changed names. Or the company that was managing the money, they switching that all kind of stuff, so they can't find their money.
That's right.
So they call. I had a client call me, but I'm like, I can't tell you where to find it. You have to actually go back and call the human resource, try to find it and find it. They can get your statement or something. So if you leave a job, roll that money over. All right, roll that money over. So that's a way to find money, because sometimes maybe the money where you have invested is not doing good. Number one, it's sitting somewhere, is getting eaten up with fees, right? Because 401ks do have fees. And number one, they're not matching because you're not putting any money into it. So guess what happens? That's money you could put somewhere and roll over to a traditional IRA where you can have better funds, better investment options, and your money can grow a lot better for you. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Or do you have an old IRA that's not active contributing to it? There's people that have an old IRA, they're not putting any money into it. And you say, oh, yeah, I think I do have an IRA, and you're not putting any money into it. So that's a way to be able to, we talk about paying yourself first, to make sure you move that money and be able to set up a Roth IRA so you can contribute towards your Roth IRA. So that's one way to do that also, right?
So good.
And look at the difference that will make for you. Let's say $500 a month, right? Where no tax deferred, it tells you a difference to $500 a month to contribution in 10 years. If you look at the different color scheme, no tax deferred, that means you're actually paying taxes on interest you earn, right? Taxes return deferred, tax on contribution return deferred until distribution. So if you look at all these, right, 10 years, look at the difference over a period of time. In the first 10 years, you don't see that much of a difference. But look what happens in 20 or 30 years. The amount of money you have accumulated, a tax deferred account, which is an IRA or Roth IRA or traditional IRA, versus just regular investment sometimes. Sometimes people have mutual funds investing. They don't take money out of it, and they let the money sit there, right? And they're paying capital gains on it, versus they can put money in a Roth IRA where the money's tax deferred. What does that actually mean? That means the interest they earn on that investment is tax deferred. That means you pay zero taxes on the returns, right? And also when you take the money out in the future, it's also tax free. So for example, this is why, for example, about 2 years ago, about a year ago, the market did pretty good. The market did about 20% return, right? So on a tax deferred, you pay zero taxes on a 20%. On a tax deferred because you paid no taxes on the returns. But if you had a taxable account, a regular mutual fund, or regular account that's not tax deferred, you pay capital gains on some aspects on those returns, right? So sometimes it's better to look at your money. If you're investing money where you're not getting a tax deferral, put it in a Roth IRA. There's so much flexibility in the Roth IRA you have, right? So put that money in Roth IRA as much as possible. Max out a Roth IRA. Then if you have something extra, then you put it somewhere else. Make sense? But max out the Roth IRA, right? So because it makes a big difference over time.
Over time.
Exactly.
Over time, for sure.
Absolutely. Another way is the debt trap, the 4-letter word: credit cards, short-term loans, buy now, pay later, all offer tempting options. But when you look at the compounding interest working against you, right, or even more, your hard-earned money virtually disappears your budget interest on top of your debt repayments. So sometimes, because the compounding effect of the debts, the way it does, it eats away out of your disposable income. So you end up paying a lot more money towards debt, right? If you look at an example, this is a perfect example we talk about all the time, which is the next slide, right? Which shares with you a bad news account. Did you know if you made a $3,000 credit card purchase with an 18% interest rate with no new purchases, and you make the minimum payments, it would take you at least 10 years to pay it off, and you would end up more than $2,000 plus in interest, right?
Yeah.
That $3,000 that you spend, interest $2,000, so it costs you $5,000. So
true. Sometimes we need to see the visual. The visual is like, wow.
Yes, exactly. Is it working for you or against you? Right? That's something that's important for you to do, right? And now this is a debt stack. We talk about ways to.
Oh, we love this.
If you happen in a situation that you have debt, we're gonna go back and we're gonna see a lot of that. This is someone 35 years old, right? If you look at the difference, they have retail card, credit card, car loan, credit card, mortgage, right? So they're paying $220 for the retail card. This is the payments plan A. They're paying that money. Now we talk about debt stacking. So once based on the way they're paying $2,700 for everything, right? So based on the track they were going, and for most of them, they would be debt free in 23 years, right? And pay over $214,000 in interest. Versus a debt stacking concept we talk about is, here's what we tell families: listen, when you pay off a debt, when you're done paying off, let's say after you're done paying off retail card 1, right? Take that money, take that $220, add it to a $353 and credit card 2. Now you're paying $573. And you're paying that off soon, right? And after you're done paying that off, then you take the $573, add it to the car loan. Instead of paying $552, and now you're paying $1124, and you're done paying that off in a fast, like a snowball effect, right? Done paying that off, and you snowball. And by doing that, you're paying almost the same amount of the same structure. Guess what? The scenario, just with the debt stacking, that person will be debt free in 9 years instead of 9 years. That's almost 14 years sooner, and they would save about $130,000 in interest.
That is so good. This slide speaks to us and teaches us in such an incredible way, and it really is exactly what it says. It is a stacking effect that happens, and that you actually do see the progress of it. It's like losing weight. When you see that scale going down, hello, doesn't that get you excited?
Exactly, 100%. And the great thing about it, well, Bernard, how do I know which ones to pay? Listen, this is why we have something that we do when we sit down with families. We have something called financial needs analysis, right? That tells us exactly. So when someone has debt, we'll sit down with them. We'll analyze their debt. We'll write up all their debt, the debts they have, the balances, how much they're paying off, the interest rate, how much they're paying for the debt, the interest rates they're paying, if they pay a little bit extra or not on their debt. And we'll analyze that. And the software does everything for it. When the software will look at everything, we'll look at the lowest interest or the highest interest with the lowest payment. We'll calculate we'll tell you specifically which one to attack first. So you don't have to guess. You'll know exactly your gain. It'll tell you exactly how much you'll save in interest, when you'll be out of debt. So that's something that we've seen miracles happen with that, you know?
What is that called again? I'm going to ask my husband to put that in the comments. What is that called? It's called a financial.
It's called financial needs analysis that we do.
Financial needs analysis. This is what you want to send an email, make a phone call, and say, I need to have this, and sit down with you. and take care of that. That's perfect. We're going to put that up on the screen.
100%. And if you have like a lot, if someone has 2 credit cards, that's not gonna. If you say, oh my gosh, I have 2 credit cards and I owe $1,000, that's not that much. But if you're in a situation where you have credit, you have 1,000, 2,000 here, you have 1,500 or 5,000-6,000 there, and you have student loans, then you have you have all these different things. So maybe you're in a situation you do have a mortgage, and maybe you got your mortgage a couple of years ago where the interest is very, very low. So it doesn't make sense to refinance or consolidate, but you still want to pay it off. Or maybe you fell behind on some debts or something like that, right? Something happened and now your credit score is not where it needs to be. So you may not qualify for home equity or anything like that to help you. So you still want to get rid of debt. So it's a perfect solution that anyone can follow. Doesn't matter whether your credit good or bad, doesn't matter. You can follow that game plan and you'll be able to knock everything off.
That's awesome. Love that.
Exactly. Now, do you know where your money's going, right? If you don't stick to budget, you probably overspend. What some things that it's like dining out, take out, maybe cut down a little bit on that, right? And you'll cut down a little bit on that. So I was like, we took the family. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe we shouldn't spend that much, right? I was thinking about that, like, oh my gosh, I thought about it, like, oh my gosh, maybe, yeah, but we had a good time. As kids, we did that, right? Delivery fees, right? Delivery fees that sometimes is DoorDash or Uber Eats. How many times people, just go pick up the food. If you're spending a lot of, the fees are not like if you 2, 3, 4 times a day. I've seen people pay $100 extra just on delivery fees, right? $100 extra, which makes no sense.
A month. Yeah, that adds up.
Subscription fees, right? We talked about before, streaming services, right? So if you look at everything, average person lives literally, if you look at gourmet coffee, listen, I used to get coffee out, but guess what? I get my own coffee. I have my coffee in the office. I have my coffee at home. So if I want coffee, only time I ever get coffee out is when I'm out of town.
Yeah, and you put your own cinnamon on it, and you do your own
stuff. It beats every coffee out there, right? It's true. And even small expense make a big difference. Average person, literally, if you add all these together, right, it's about they pay about $500-$600 extra a month.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say the exact same thing.
Some people are $1,000 extra. It's the craziest thing that it's a lot that people are spending. So all that can make a difference. Now, listen, we tell people we want you to live your life. We don't want you to not live your life. We don't want you be like sit in the cave and wear the same clothes for the 10 years or that's not what you could do, but make sure you put your game plan, put some financial game plan in first, right? Then at the same time, get on the right track, then you can naturally get different things. We want you to live your life, right? But it shouldn't be at the expense of your financial future. Make sense? It should not be expensive for your financial future. The worst thing, listen, you're not going to remember that streaming when you're 60, 65, and you're trying to figure out, well, how am I gonna live? How am I gonna be able to pay bills? So and you're not worried about like the stuff that was such a necessity for you 5 years, even a year or 2 years from now, right? Oh my gosh, I have to have that. I gotta have that. It's not gonna make a difference later on in the future. You're not even gonna think about it. You're not gonna be thinking, oh my gosh, it was definitely worth it. You're like, you know what? I could have made some adjustment. I could have done some things.
Yep. So good.
And listen, sometimes you just need to make more money. Sometimes you just don't make enough money. You got to make more money, right? And sometimes that is something that's important to have. Sometimes, listen, we always talk about, listen, you can rearrange the chairs in a Titanic. If that ship's going to sink, it's going to sink. Do you understand that?
Whoa.
Much you can rearrange. Let me arrange. Sometimes you just need to make more money. For a lot of people, they need to make more money. And one thing I always tell people, listen, there's 2 options you have, right? This is what I tell people when I come across people. Listen, you need to make more money. They say, well, I don't know, but listen, here's what I said. Take a look. Here's a question. This reality is very brutal, but it's real, right? I tell people, listen, take a look. What have you made for the past 5 years? So let's say if you made $50,000 a year. So in 5 years, you made about $250,000. How much of that money can you grab today if you had an emergency? Can you grab at least 1 year worth of income?
Yes.
And for a lot of people, the answer is no. So what makes you think the next 5 years are going to be any different?
That's so good. Yeah. Jen Ludwig is watching on Instagram too. She's like, yep, that's right. That's it.
Exactly. So see, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expect a different result. Sometimes you get your paycheck, you expect something magical is going to happen. It's not going to happen. Sometimes you might need to find different ways to make more money. And there's so many different ways out there we find to make more money. Keep your job. Listen, this is why I'm always looking to train new people part-time, working with us, get them licensed, have them make extra money part-time. And without quitting their job, they can still keep their full-time job, work with us part-time, make an extra $1,000, $2,000 extra a month, right? And be able to make a career change if they want to. And you can go there on terms. Sometimes you just need to make more money. Sometimes you got to make more money. An extra $500, an extra $1,000 a month will do wonders in probably 95% of households.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Not a lot. An extra 500, an extra 1,000, you can make a big difference. So we tell people, be open. Be open. A mind is like a parachute. It works better when it's open.
So good. So good. Listen, we love the rearrange the chairs, the Titanic. You can rearrange the chairs in the Titanic. If it's gonna sink, it's gonna sink. I knew you were gonna do the emojis. Yeah. My husband is like soaking this episode in. I'm watching him like on his phone, like really into it. And Jen is on. I love that. And Jonathan joined us. I love that the folks are enjoying this episode. This was really good. Yes. Where is the money?
It's there. It's there. We just gotta find it.
Yep. It's there. He showed us some tips tonight on where to find it, what to do, what adjustments to make, what to review and look over. Say goodbye to the gourmet coffee if you have to, but there's money there. You just need to find it.
100%.
And our coach can help you do that with that financial need.
You just need someone else. You need someone else to help you. Sometimes you can't figure out by yourself. This is what have us. We can go
fresh eyes. Yeah, it's fresh eyes. To look.
You ever had when you were a kid, right? And your mom asked you, say, Liz, make sure go get that for me. It's over there. Open the closet and go there. And you get there and you go in the closet and like, Mom, I don't see it. And they say, it's right there. Just go look. It's right there. And they say, I don't see it, right? And your mom tells you, listen, if I have to get up, right? And don't make me get up and go find, right?
Yeah.
And go find it. You're gonna get in trouble, right? And guess what happens? Like religiously, like on a religious basis, they get up and exactly what it told you it was, right? This way it was. Why is that? Because you just wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't important. You wasn't looking for it. It was always there. You just wasn't looking for it. You need an extra pair of eyes, right? Pair of eyes to help you, to guide you. Sometimes that's what most of us need. I need someone else, right? Number one, that can extra pair of eyes that can help you and be able to guide you so you can actually get.
That's so fantastic.
You can find the money.
We got it. Lesson learned. We got it today. We figured that out. And with your help, of course, we appreciate this amazing episode 75. Great tips, great information, answer some questions live. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment because we will come back to see your comments. All right. And make sure that everyone is receiving the information that they need. Bernard, this was great.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great for three-quarters century. It's a good start.
3/4 of a century. This is good. We will see you again next Tuesday, my friends, our audience from Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We know that we have a lot of folks that watch the replay later. We want to thank you for being so faithful and joining us and taking notes and learning. If you know someone that this may bless them to do this part-time, you have heard how he teaches here, you know that you're going to get the training from him. Like they will get the training from Bernard and his team. So that is the extra money that someone in your family just might need. So get in contact. The email is below here, scrolling or above on Instagram. And we will see you again next week. Yes, absolutely. Bernard?
Looking forward to it. Absolutely excited about that.
Fantastic. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye, Bernard.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Army Empire podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Join us next week for another exciting edition, and until then, keep building your empire.